Good day everyone, Sir and Ma'am, especially to our teacher, Ma'am Placida de la Vega. I am Racalam Hernandez, Teacher 1 from Bilara National High School, and my report is all about the principles of administration and supervision. First, let us define what is principle. So principle is considered as a law, a doctrine, a policy, or a deep-seated beliefs which governs the conduct of various types of human activities. For the administrator and supervisor, it is very important to have good principles because this will serve as his guide in his reflective thinking in his choice of program of activities. Important uses of principles in school administration and supervision. Number 1. Principles are means by which the administrator and supervisors proceed from one situation to another. So it means that in the operation or in administering or supervising functions, there is an organized step-by-step schedule or program of activities to be followed. Okay, number 2. Principles are instrumental in improving teaching-learning process. So since every administrator or a supervisor as well as teachers want the best learning outcomes on the part of learner, these principles will be of great help for the improvement of instruction and all other learning activities. Number 3. Principles make for enormous economy of time and effort in choosing techniques to be used. So meaning, principle directs us on what is the appropriate techniques or strategies to be used effectively in the operation of administrative and supervisory functions. Okay, number 4. Principles eliminate much of the trial and error practices. So through it, we can avoid waste of time on what to do, but instead, they give us direction or point of destination. Number 5. Principles greatly aid in the discovery of new techniques. So they are the hypotheses that direct the search for new techniques in school administration and supervision. 6. Principles are needed to guide the choice and sequence of the techniques at hand. Number 7. Principles aid in the evaluation of techniques, for they furnish a broader basis by which to judge the techniques used in the school administration and supervision. So it is not only used to determine on what appropriate techniques to be used, but it can also serve as measurement or basis as to how effective is the technique or procedures. 8. Principles define the items which must be scrutinized in evaluating the results. So this implies the better understanding of the fundamental principles and functions of school administration and supervision. Number 9. Principles are used to evaluate the success of administrative and supervisory programs. So administration and supervision are also directed and evaluated in terms of principles. Number 10, principles lead the administrators and supervisors to further activities, for they are dynamic and not static. So being a teacher, we are also an administrator and supervisors in the real classroom situation. We must see to it that our principles and techniques used are open for any changes and improvement. Okay, so here are the general principles of administration and supervision. So first, school administrator and supervisor must be democratic. So it means we have to recognize individual differences, respect one's personality, and extend consideration to all. So it aimed to give the fullest measure to freedom to the individual to develop his maximum capacities, so long as the development does not interfere or create conflicts with the welfare right of others. Next, School administration and supervision must be cooperative. So this implies group action. There is strength in cooperation and progress results from combined efforts of all, administrator, supervisor, teachers, parents, and students. There is also a cooperative effort that encourages greater efficiency. Number 3, school administration and supervision to be effective, it must be scientific. So it emphasizes that the use of the scientific principle and that the solution of problems should be based on fact. The effort is to discover rather than to prove. The best way to determine whether a thing is present or not is to look and see. But sometimes, we only see those things we look for. So being an administrator and supervisor, we must be fact conscious. We have here, school administration and supervision must be based on accepted educational philosophy. So, philosophy is a background of theory of knowledge and beliefs which explains and justifies a selected way of life. So, educational philosophy affects the thinking and resultant actions of the leaders who control public schools administration and supervision. So, the outstanding point here is the integration of personality which possess a well-developed standard of values, giving consistency and unity to all thinking, feeling, and acting. Okay, next we have school administration and supervision must be creative. So the term creative here means initiating, suggesting, devising, inventing, experimenting, or producing something new. Creative administration and supervision encourages growth. This provides opportunity for the teachers and pupils to grow through the exercise of their talents and abilities under expert and professional guidance and encouragement. Number 6, administration and supervision must be evaluated in the lights of their results. So it has been pointed out that only by knowing as accurate as possible the results of instruction can the process of education be improved. The effectiveness of administration or supervision, for example, may be determined either through application of criteria designed to judge the value of the activities performed or through the measurement of the immediate outcomes of the programs. Next, responsibility and control in matter of school administration and supervision must run parallel throughout the system. So this principle of parallelism of duties is the particular sphere to which the school administrator or supervisor is assigned and for which he is responsible. So in the distribution of functions between the school principal and division superintendent, for example, this principle governs. So the principal is in charge of the school in all phases of activities as a school, such as class programs, student organization, promotion, and supervision of instructions. Okay, next we have school administration must be distinguished from supervision. So as we know that these two are not synonymous in meanings, misconceptions regarding these causes more misunderstanding and possibly more neglect of duties. So there must be a clear and complete specifications of functions. So next we have here is school administration and supervision must be preventive and constructive. So any help that an administrator or supervisor can give to the teachers so that they may avoid mistakes is commendable. So this kind of assistance is especially valuable to the beginners in the school or to the newcomers to the teaching profession. Okay, next we have school administration and supervision must be centered on child growth and development. So this much concern to the teachers being an administrator also in the classroom activities. So we must aim to provide conditions favorable to the growth and development of the children or learners. We should guide the children to determine their difficulties and potentialities and the most suitable type of education which will make them possible to grow mentally, physically, morally, emotionally, and socially. Okay, the other one is school administration and supervision must be flexible. So flexibility here is characterized by its being adapted and readily adjust to meet the requirement of changing conditions. This also covers the following: flexibility of school building, flexibility of objectives and teaching procedures, flexibility of instructional materials and devices, flexibility of the school requirement and standard norm.